Hi, I'm Dietrich. I'm an automotive collision technician. I've been in the career for 2.5 years now. I started when I was 17 at Elgin Park through their trades program. Um, I did my first level back in 2019 of January, and that was an 8-month course that went until August. And then I just completed my second level in October, which was a 1.5-month course teaching the fundamentals of level 2 technician. Um, I've been working through the trade, getting my automotive apprentice hours, which is basically as I work, I'll log my hours showing that I have worked in the trade, showing that I have the capability of, venturing off and doing automotive tasks. My day to day work is usually I'll get our cars in, which is our quota, and then we'll get our work order, which shows what we're doing on the car today and what are the procedures and what parts we're using and how we're going to tackle it. I can get as many as 3 cars in a day to 5, and me and my coworkers, we have to work together, kind to working on and off each car, trying to get it done and piece it together within the time quota that they given to us. The work orders, how they're structured, is they'll give us a time amount, so the amount that we have to work on it for, and the total costs, and then the procedures of how we do it, and then if we complete it in the time frame that they've given us, we make a lot of money. So an example of that is I have a car and it's, say the front door has been crunched in and they gave us 22 hours for paint time and removal and repair time, and I finish it in 10 hours repair time, then the painters will have an extra 12 hours to do paint, but they'll only finish it in 5, so we'll finish the whole car in about 15 rather than the 22 that they gave us, making more money. Now, if we finish a car in 24 hours and they give us 22 hours, then we'll lose money because we've taken those 2 extra hours off, which isn't the biggest worry, but with big jobs, if something, messes up, you will kind of get the heat of it because you lost some money, but that won't happen. You won't get any repercussions because you're the worker. That doesn't happen. They can't fire you or anything. So that's the plus. What are some hard and soft skills required for automotive technicians? You have to be kind of thick-skinned. You'll be sweeping floors for a little bit. You'll be the guy getting parts, going around holding tools, helping the welder with stuff. Holding pieces up so they can weld it. So at the start, it's you're doing the grunt work, but it's rewarding after you've gotten comfortable with the team and the crew. They'll start giving you more opportunities and bigger jobs. I started in restoration, which was old cars. I was working on like 69 Mustangs and Cadillacs. I got to work on a 1940s Rolls Royce, which was pretty cool. I got to work on a bunch of old Chevy trucks, a bunch of old Ford trucks. I got to work on Corvettes, Camaros, Pontiacs, everything you could probably think of from the 60s to the 90s I worked on, which was pretty cool. It's not the most common thing that you do when you're in this trade. People will usually start in normal car collision with ACBC, which is what I'm in now. I do semi-trucks and automotive cars, and what we do is we're an ICBC and private insurance, not insurance, but repair company. So if you have an insurance claim, you can bring it in and we can get it sorted, or if you have a private claim, we can get it in and get it sorted and get it all done. And the two differences between those is the insurance claims are paid by ICBC and the private claims are paid by a private party. So if I come in and my car is broken, I pay the expenses. If I come in and my car has been hit, ICBC pays it. So there's the kind of whole difference with repairing your car. Some of the biggest challenges I face are getting cars done on time and making sure I'm fast enough, but also efficient and doing good quality work. You don't want to do a job and then have it reflect poorly on you. You want to have pride in your work as you finish it. You want to do it procedurally in the steps that have been taken by school to show you, and then you'll do it in those steps. And then once the car is completed, it's shown that it's been done safely, and then no one's gonna die if they get hit in a car accident, which you don't become liable, but the shop will be if your repairs are not adequate to the car and they break and cause bodily harm to the occupant. The company will be sued because that is, it's criminal. You've fixed a car saying that you did it properly, and if you don't do it properly and it hurts someone, then that's a big problem in this trade, which doesn't happen often. just because we've been taught properly and we have the skills and requirements to do the proper job. What steps to take to tackle mechanical issues? I kind of touched on it earlier with the whole work hours thing, but basically I will get a car and they'll show me through the work order what I have to do, and then I'll tackle it. So, say I have a Golf and it's been hit by a forklift. What I'll do is I'll see what the work order is like, and then I'll make sure all the parts are here when I start it, because you don't want to start a job and then your parts aren't here, because then the car is kind of sitting there half apart, and then it's hard to move it. And then it's, if a customer comes in, they say, "Oh, my car is apart, where are the parts?" And no one's working on it. It's a bad image for the shop. So you try and get the car done when you get the parts there, so that you can get it done as fast as possible. The customer gets it and they're happy, and then you make money. So that's kind of the day-to-day stuff that I do. Typical days, I wake up at 6, get ready, get to work at 7. I'll do my jobs that I have. It's either a job I've been working on for the past week, or I'll get a new job in today. I don't really know. When I get there, they go, "Here, Cole, this is what you're doing, have fun." So that's kind of the thing. So it's fun. It's a good work environment. You're always doing something new, so it's not like it's stagnant. You're always getting new kind of fun stuff. What is a growing market of electric cars? How they feature? Okay, so electric cars is a hard topic in the automotive collision aspect, and also in the mechanical. In the mechanical aspect, you have to be taught specifically how to work on electric cars. You cannot really take much from the automotive side of it, because gas cars and electric cars, their whole fundamentals are pretty different. There's battery cells and there's fuel tanks, there's motors on wheels, there's a lot of stuff. So it's very complicated. So it's fairly trade specific with that kind of stuff. But on the collision side, we're dealing with a lot more wires, a lot more voltages. It gets pretty dangerous with those electric cars, because they have these big orange wires that are like 100 kilowatts. And if you cut one of those and touch that when it's live, you're fried instantly. You see the skeleton, the flash, the hair goes up, you're dead. So that's kind of the one thing that's a struggle with electric cars, is working on them safely. And then also with electric cars, if they get damaged too much, they'll become totaled, and then you just can't work on them. So we don't really work on many, just because if there is a significant amount of damage on them, they're kind of deemed unsafe, just because of how much current can go through those things, and they can just kill people if you don't know what you're doing properly. So that's kind of the hardships of electric cars. And then, what are some words of advice and tips that you give to students? If you want to get into this trade, you gotta like cars, you gotta like wrenching, you gotta like sanding, you gotta like welding, you gotta like doing stuff with your hands, you gotta like creating, is a good way to say it. You like to, when I get a car and I see it destroyed and mangled, and then when I finish it and I see it all fixed, you get a sense of joy, because you've done a bunch of work and you've kind of completed it fully, and you're like, yeah, awesome, I did a good job. So you gotta have that kind of creative eye to it as well. You gotta kind of know where you're going before you've done it, like thinking a little bit step further. Because if I'm gonna do something here, I have to think how that's gonna kind of react with all the other stuff I'm going to do here. I'm not gonna weld a piece there and then have it out of line there. So you kind of have to think forward and kind of plan ahead. So you gotta be able to think quick on your head, and be good with your hands, and be comfortable with working in tight spaces, or going on your knees, or going under the car. You gotta be okay with getting dirty. That's the one big thing. You will get dirty. My face will just be covered in welding fumes and metal shavings and stuff. Like, the bottoms of my eyes will just be black. So you gotta be used to just getting dirty, which is a fun part of it. You get to work on some cool stuff, and you meet some nice people in this trade. It's a very welcoming trade. Everyone's nice. You got your old timers that'll teach you what, when you got the new guys with the new tech. There's a lot of technology in this trade that's pretty advanced and pretty cool. And if you're at a cool shop and they let you work with that kind of stuff, it's a fun experience. So anyone who wants to get into mechanics or collision, I would say start early if you want, and kind of just get in there. If you don't know much about cars, don't worry. If you don't know how a motor works, or you don't know how to put on a tire, don't worry. They'll teach you that at school. And be okay with not knowing anything. If someone asks you and you don't know, just tell them, and they'll gladly help you rather than saying, oh yeah, I know that, and then you go do it and you don't know what you're doing. Kind of looks bad on you. So be okay with saying you don't know what you're doing, and people will teach you, and no one's going to get mad at you if you don't know what you're doing. They're going to go, oh, okay, this is what you do, and then nothing breaks. So, you got to kind of be okay with just being like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, and then just people will help you. It's a very forgiving trade in that sense that, if you mess up on something, it's not technically your fault. So say if I weld a car and, fix it and stuff, and it breaks down the line, it's my fault, but I won't be charged with it. It's the company that gets charged, and the only thing that I would lose would probably be my red seal if someone dies. So say I work on a car and someone gets in a car accident and my repairs fail, then the company's held at fault and they will get lawsuit and all that stuff. But then I also lose my red seal because then I'm not certified to work on it. So criminally, I don't get any legal action taken on me, so I won't be charged, but my certificate will be taken away. So I guess that will happen. But besides that, get into the trade, have fun, and it's a good career. It's not the most common thing people get into. Not many people even know that this thing exists. So yeah, if you want to get into it, have fun, enjoy it, and all the best. You guys have a good day. Bye.